Yeah, I wouldn't even say the confidence is within the dressing room, the confidence within the building. So yeah, I think the players were really unfortunate not to take something for the game on Saturday, if I'm honest. I think it's been well documented, the penalty we never got. So I think there's more than enough in the changing room, but I would caveat that with it's the club in a whole that were confident. You've got to, in moments of adversity, you've got to make sure you all stick together, and I think it's very easy in life, not just football, to start pointing fingers, and that's a big one I'm trying to keep away from the club. We're all in this together, we all need to stick together, and there's only one way out of it, and that's by sticking together. I'm not going to sit here and say that's not been a concern, if I'm honest. I went through sporadic spells, most seasons of similar circumstances, but again, the caveat to that will be goals in the Premier League change games. Now we're struggling to get them ourselves, but we seem to be conceding the first goal. So that changes the dynamics of the game. But again, just use last Saturday night, I could probably go through most games. I think we've been a wee bit unlucky also. The chances are there, we've been creating chances. There've been a couple of games, and you're always going to get that where chances created are very slim, but I think we've created more than enough chances during this run of 7 games to take more from the games. Does that make sense? But when you're losing the first goal in the Premier League, games become extremely difficult at that point, so the dynamics within the game change. Every year we go through a similar run at some point, and I think probably outside the top 5. But you look at Kilmarnock and Kilmarnock, you could probably take them out of that equation. In the top 7 at this point, most days are all on a very similar page, where we've been through a run of games where we're no scoring goals, we're no picking points up. I think everybody will go through that, maybe outside the top 5, but I think Kilmarnock and St Mirren, so there's 7 teams. The rest is are all going to go through a similar spell. Would I rather had the points on the board and went through this at the tail end of the season? Probably, and that's generally what's happened in the past. But again, like, I'm trying not to focus too much on the what ifs. The what ifs are gone. It's only the present that I can work in, this current moment in time. And again, my belief is we've got enough to keep this club in the Premier League. What happens in January is going to be dictated by what happens in terms of the staff that's in the players that are in the building at this point in time. Do we need 2 or 3 in to help the group? I think we do, and I think that's evident when you look at the league position. But unfortunately, money talks in football, finances talk in football, and it's just, I accepted that at the start of the year. I knew it was going to be a difficult season, and it's a challenge that I'm up for, Jamie. And it's a challenge that I'm not going to back down from. So whether we can bring somebody in January or not, it's probably going to be outside my remit in terms of I need to try and move players on. But if I can't do that, there's no money to bring anybody in the January window. Would I like to bring someone in? Of course I would. We need 2 or 3 players in to help the group within the building. But again, I'll go back to, I think I've got more than enough in that. Well, no more than enough. I think we've got enough. I think we've got enough to keep this club in the Premier League, but it's going to be it's going to be a huge ask. I think, and I've been very vocal on it, see if it was a plastic part, we'd have been picking points up the last 2 seasons. We've been probably at home against the Old Firm, we've not been great. The last 2 seasons, we managed to get a draw at Rangers. Previous seasons, not so much. You look at what Derek's done, I think it's an unbelievable job. I think he's had a wee bit of money to spend. I'm not meaning he's had money thrown at him. He's spent his budget very well. He's had a couple of windows now, maybe 2 or 3 windows to get his identity in the team. And I've said it since the day Derek was at Aberdeen, the day he left Aberdeen. I think he's one of the best managers in the Premier League, and I think he's now he's shown that within his Kilmarnock team. So I'm under no illusions how hard Saturday's going to be. I've always found that no matter who Derek's managing, it's a difficult game of football. He knows the league inside out, and he's got his teams extremely well drilled. He went through a period of adversity last year with Kilmarnock, and he's kept them in the Premier League, and look what he's doing this year. And is that Celtic twice now at home, Rangers once? I think for me that shows you the skill set in the manager. Of course, I don't care who's coming here. We're going there, and it's extremely, at this point in time, we need to pick 3 points up. So I'm sitting here lauding the achievements of Kilmarnock, and we've been there in previous seasons, but our job on Saturday is to go and take 3 points off Kilmarnock, and I think we're more than capable of doing that, but I'm under no illusions how hard that's going to be.